A long time ago, in a quiet village surrounded by vast green fields, there was a well unlike any other. The villagers called it the magic well because it had the power to grant wishes. However, the well was hidden deep within the forest, and only those who truly believed in its magic could find it. Most villagers dismissed it as a legend, but others dreamed of one day discovering it and changing their lives forever. Among those who believed in the well's magic was a poor farmer named Elias. He worked hard every day, tending to his small patch of land, but no matter how much effort he put in, his crops barely grew, and his family often went to bed hungry. One evening, after another long and disappointing day in the fields, Elias sat outside his small cottage, staring at the sky. "If only I could find the magic well," he whispered to himself. The next morning, driven by hope, Elias ventured into the dense forest, searching for the legendary well. He walked for hours, pushing aside thick branches, stepping over roots, and listening to the distant sounds of birds and rustling leaves. Just as exhaustion threatened to turn him back, he stumbled upon a small clearing. In the center stood an old stone well, covered in vines and glowing faintly under the sunlight. His heart pounded. He had found it. Trembling with excitement, Elias stepped forward and peered into the dark water. "Please, grant me a good harvest," he whispered, tossing a small pebble inside. The water rippled, shimmering with a golden hue, and then, as if by magic, a warm breeze rushed through the trees. Elias felt a strange energy around him. Trusting the well's power, he rushed home, eager to see what would happen. The next morning, Elias was met with a miracle. His once dying crops had grown overnight, stretching tall and healthy under the morning sun. His neighbors were astonished. "How is this possible?" they asked, but Elias only smiled, knowing the well had granted his wish. That season he harvested more food than ever before, and his family finally ate their fill. Word of Elias's sudden fortune spread quickly, and soon, a greedy merchant named Gregor heard about the well. Unlike Elias, Gregor was not a kind man. He cared only for gold and wealth, always looking for ways to grow richer. "If that fool could use the well's magic, so can I," he muttered. Determined to claim the magic for himself, he set off toward the forest. Gregor found the well just as Elias had, but instead of making a simple request, he wanted more. Standing before the ancient stones, he rubbed his hands together and said, "I wish for bags of gold. I wish to be the richest man in the world." He tossed a handful of coins into the well, expecting instant riches. The water rippled again, glowing brighter than before, and Gregor grinned, feeling the same energy Elias had felt. The next morning, Gregor woke to find his house filled with gold coins. His wish had come true. Overjoyed, he rushed back to the well. If one wish worked, why not more, he thought. Every day he returned, asking for more gold, more land, more power. And every time, the well granted his desires. But greed is never satisfied. Gregor grew careless, demanding more and more until his once humble home had turned into a palace. Yet he was not happy. He worried constantly about losing his fortune, fearing thieves and betrayal. He no longer trusted his friends, and his servants whispered behind his back. One night, filled with greed's insatiable hunger, Gregor stood before the well once more. "Give me all the gold in the world," he demanded, tossing in his final coins. But this time, the water did not glow. Instead, the ground beneath him trembled. The well, once a giver of magic, had been drained by his greed. Cracks formed around it, and suddenly, the earth split open. Gregor gasped as the ground beneath his feet collapsed, pulling him down into darkness. The well had taken back what it had given. By morning, his palace crumbled, and the gold vanished as if it had never existed. The villagers spoke of Gregor's fate, warning others that greed only leads to ruin. As for Elias, he continued to live humbly, making only small wishes and never asking for more than he needed. The well remained hidden, waiting for those who understood its true power. That magic, like fortune, should never be taken for granted.